Hi. Okay, so I'm back. Yeah. I busted my chain last week. So we don't have a garnet, which is, I have garnets here and here, but I don't have them here. I have an amber here. And today I tried to, key operative here is tried to curl my hair, but I don't have like hairspray or anything. So, some of it's still curled, the rest of it got brushed out. Yeah. And I was kind of angry about it. So, is what it is. Hi! Let's find out who we're reading for tonight, shall we? 6 signs left. Sagittarius. The funny thing is that when I was listening to the songs that I was channeling with, when I was thinking before I got ready to go, Cave by Muse was playing, and it come in my cave, and I'll bring your heart away. And I was like, whoa, what is the only fire sign that I haven't done yet? And I think it's Sagittarius. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, Sag, it's your turn. General read for you for April. We're not going to clarify anything because that way maybe I can actually get through everything. So let's go ahead and let's get started. It seems to be that we're doing Shadowscapes for you. And by the way, it also was hailing and snowing at the same time. That's right. Over my shoulder you can see in Calgary it's snowing in April. Yeah. All right. And Cowboys by Portishead. I do enjoy the Portishead, yes. But don't despair. Today will be the damnedest day. Whoa. We're not gonna, well, let's look at what this is. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Whoa. All right, let's see. I have my glasses on. I've been doing performance reviews all day, so I can't see that far away right now. I got real blurry vision. 7. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 7:31 p.m.
7:29 it says over there on that clock. So 7 to 9, 18, breaking down to 9. 9 is the number for you. Sagittarius. So if you believe in tarot, that's why you're here. I'm also clairsentient, cognizant, and clairaudient. So when I hear ringing on my right side, that's typically people that I know that have passed on. And if I hear ringing on my left side, that's typically my spirit guides that I'll be channeling messages for when I hear ringing on either side. Might not hear any ringing. Who knows? All right, one more. One more. 3-0. Yeah. Yeah. I do need to leave to stay right here. Yeah. I didn't even listen to that song. Well, I haven't listened to that song in the last hour. Just for fairness for you. Okay, Sag. In times of adversity, everybody should have a favorite metal band that they listen to. So I do have a favorite metal band that I listen to in all times, not just times of adversity. Okay, so 666 spread is what we're going to do. 666 spread is what we're going to do, past, present, future. I also read the verticals. So let's see, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And please do check out your Rising, Moon, Venus sign for additional messages. First card out, the Sun in the reverse, a wish that did not happen for you in the past. In addition to that, could very well be a no to a question you might have asked, but also things that are kind of dwelling in darkness. You might be dwelling in darkness right now. Shady business, I'm hearing. Shady business over on this side over here. Leo is the energy here. What else do we have? Sagittarius. We have one that jumped that we're going to take first, and then we have 2 that have flipped. So the world, an ending of sorts. An ending of sorts that's happened for you, Sagittarius. Could very well be a feeling of wholeness and completion when it comes to a cycle in the recent past. But what I'm getting is that it's not the feeling of wholeness, it's that something actually came to an end. There was something that finished for you, either a cycle, a lesson, or something such as a relationship. It might be that there was something that happened that you believed was going to be of significant emotional fulfillment. And when you found out that that was not the case, you decided to close out a cycle of sorts. It sucks, right? These cards here, we have the Chariot and we have the Ten of Wands. Caused you to have to either travel, move forward, of course, but this is always, for me, a card of change of address. So you did have to move. You had to move forward, or you were looking potentially due to something with this particular completion of a cycle at your options as far as changing address or traveling, moving forward in some way, shape, or form. It's also forward movement, forward progress with the Chariot, Cancerian energy. Because we do have the Sun card and the Chariot in the same line, sometimes you could also be dealing with a Cancer, Leo, cusper. But yeah. And then the Ten of Wands, taking on great burden, great responsibility. You see, it's almost like Atlas there, but it's not Atlas, it's a lady instead. But it is great burden. The Ten of Wands is typically depicted with somebody carrying all 10 wands on their back. So this movement forward, the travel, the taking, you're taking on great burden and great responsibility. I'm trying to find my words here and I'm having problems. Taking on great responsibility with a change of address. You could have moved into a place where you ended up taking on greater responsibility as a result. But it could very well be that this is simply travel that resulted in greater responsibility or burden, or movement forward in progression towards something that caused a little bit more responsibility for you, to the point of frustration and stress potentially. Yeah. What else? Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. That's too many. Sagittarius. I have a tooth. You see that? You can't see it. I don't want to show you anyway. I have a tooth that's pushed back, and it's actually starting to mess with my speech. So if you start to notice that I'm having problems with that, if I talk the way I'm supposed to talk, it's actually kind of bad. It's messing with my tongue. So I'm going to start talking over here a little bit more. So if you start to notice me lisping or doing something weird, it's because I have a tooth that I should probably get either. I have to get something done. I should probably get an Invisalign. I was supposed to during COVID and I didn't. So I got to figure that out. Yeah. What else? You don't need to hear about that. Oh, here we go. Queen of Swords, Libra energy. Fairness, justice, equilibrium, feminine Libra energy in specific. Seems like there is a balancing act, or like with the responsibility that you're taking on, that there is a fairness and balance that needs to be brought about, or is going to be brought about. Could be a Libra figure who is reminding you of fairness and justice and equilibrium in a situation. There's also something about truth here that I'm starting to kind of feel with that. Precision in communication, but also communication about your need to balance the responsibilities and burdens that you're taking on, having it connected with that Ten of Wands there. If we take a look, see? And lastly, in the past energy for you, Sag. What are we looking at here? All right, that Ace of Pentacles in reverse. It wanted to come out. I even twisted the cards for fairness. There's an offer here that didn't happen for you that you were thinking would. You were anticipating an offer. Typically, this has got to do with stability, funds, finance, a job offer, a deal of some sort that just didn't happen for you in the recent past. Or when it came about, it didn't seem as if it was fair, so you might have turned it down. You might have walked away from a deal of some sort because you didn't feel that it was honest, having it linked to the Queen of Swords there. or somebody advised you against it, saying that it didn't seem as if it was on the up and up. There could have been something to do with legal here, where you might have lost some money, or you might have put an offer through legal and found that in reviewing a contract that it wasn't a deal that you wanted to go for. Reading the fine print is also something that I get here, and in reading the fine print, in so doing, you decided not to go for something. It was something that did indeed seem too good to be true. Yeah? Okay. All right. In the present for you, Sag. I'm trying to be fast with this. I think I talked too much about things that didn't matter to you. Sorry. Not sorry. Over here on AD Tarology, we have personality, you know, like Cheese Whiz, right? The Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so you were anticipating that you were going to be celebrating something, but you're not. You're not. The cool thing is that hen party gossip type energy that's normally inherent with the Three of Cups isn't happening also. So that zip your lip type thing is actually the case here. You don't have people meh about things, but it could also be because you're not going out, you're not celebrating, you're not doing that big go out and make a fool of yourself type thing right now. Potentially, it could be because you're a little bummed out because a wish it wasn't granted for you, or because right now you're not sitting in the prosperous energy of the Sun card in the upright that is in the past there. You have it in the reverse instead. So maybe you're not in the mood for celebration right now, right? Sucks. It does suck, but at the same time, sometimes to take a little bit of a time out from doing that celebration is good. It's a well-needed rest, recuperation, right? Next up, the Emperor in the upright. I love that we're in Aries season, about to hit Taurus season in about a week. And you are pulling the Emperor. This is standing in your power. This could also be a leadership energy, somebody who has Aries in their chart, a strong father figure that embodies confidence and leadership energy for you. But again, a Libra, why did I say Libra? I didn't mean Libra. An Aries individual who might very well be connected to a Libra or have strong bond with Libra. Because I said that, I have to. I heard it over here. Strong bond with a Libra. Aries energy, leadership energy, ruling with a firm hand, leading with nurturing energy, a nurturing father figure as well. There's a completion of a cycle here that has to do with this individual. You could very well be embodying this energy and be the one leading the charge in completing a cycle from the past in the present, or you could be somebody who's taking charge of a situation to bring a cycle to completion from the past that is no longer serving you or serving the people around you. If you are a male in particular, you could also be doing this for some of your children during this time. You could also be putting the kibosh on some celebratory energy from a leadership standpoint. You could be the ringleader of a circle of friends. I'm hearing that over here, which is interesting because I've been hearing everything over here. Leader of a circle, a ringleader of a circle of friends. See this? We have rings here. Ringleader of a circle of friends. And you could be bringing something to a close because there's darkness in it. There's dark gossip. There's something about it that dwells in darkness with the sun. Beware of darkness. Beware of darkness. I'm hearing by George Harrison. Beware of darkness. Watch out now. Beware. Soft-shoed shufflers. Out of all of the different, beware of soft-shoed shufflers. I'm hearing that part in particular, which isn't even the first verse. And I'm here in the dead of night. Beware of darkness. I love the George Harrison. Okay, let's keep going. All right. You could be moving towards something as at the same time as moving away from something. So you might actually be finding for yourself where it no longer serves you to be going out and be imbibing so much, but also putting an end to gossip about things that are kind of creating a sense of, dwelling in darkness. Dark energy, and as such moving forward in a higher sense, or at least for your higher good, yeah, you're ending something here. King of Pentacles in the reverse. You're recognizing where this has hit your stability. I think that's the main communication that you're bringing about from that Emperor energy. This is Taurus. Yeah, this is happening like smack dab right effing now. Sorry, ma'am, April and beyond, but this is happening in your present energy. Aries, Taurus cusp. Yep, or you're dealing with an Aries, Taurus, cusper. But the King of Pentacles in the reverse, normally the King of Pentacles, your Taurus male, or rather masculine energy, is Taurus sitting in stability. It is somebody who brings stability to home space, the warmth of the home. You might be noticing where these cycles that you are bringing to completion are for your own good, but also for the good of your stability, the good of reinvesting the warmth into your home space and the stability into your home space. And so it could also be, especially if there's been gossip and there has been a lot of dark energy that has been brought upon your home as a result of some of that celebratory energy, that it's time to kind of chill out at home a little bit more, spend more time building the stability back up with relationships that serve your home well, as opposed to those that are meeping together and causing conflict. And now the Three of Cups in and of itself is not about causing conflict, but those three chicks there, they aren't necessarily always up to the most savory of chit chat, right? So what else do we have here? I mean, yeah, you've noticed that the participation in that in the past, and this is why you're calling it like it is, because the Emperor in the upright calls it like it is. He definitely does, from a nurturing standpoint, of course, as opposed to being the fire that burns if we were seeing it in reverse. But you're noticing that this has brought upon your home great burden in the past, and so it only serves you to move forward. And you anticipate that the stability that comes with making that sound judgment call that a King of Pentacles or an Emperor would make is going to hopefully right your course, and also bring more stability into your home space. What else? There's Aries and Taurus here in the present. Aries and Taurus are with you, or an Aries, Taurus, cusper. But this is happening during this particular season, which is fine. It's great. It's just affirming for me as Capricorn, the individual ruled by time, that this is actually happening in my cards. It's good. Four of Swords, not my cards. I have like no Sagittarius in my chart. I think I have it in like one house. It's okay. Four of Swords in the reverse. So you're coming out of some rest and recuperation. It's almost like you had to take some time to meditate and really ruminate on your decision. And that during that time of healing for you, that there was a little bit of a lack of stability that you either realized, or you, the time that you took to heal wasn't necessarily as relaxing. It could have been ridden with anxiety. But at this point, you have realized that there is a need for healing, or you've come out of healing. Typically, the Four of Swords in the reverse is waking up. Because the Four of Swords in and of itself is sleeping it off under a tree after the painful heartbreak of the Three of Swords. Having it linked to the Chariot, the Ten of Wands, and the Queen of Swords, it's almost like you're waking up from a deep slumber and realizing where you've missed out on some things after a period of grieving, loss, healing from betrayal or loss or grief. And you need to move forward, and you recognize the burdens that you've placed upon yourself where you haven't been fair with yourself or with other people, where there has been injustice, lack of equilibrium, or where you are now able to balance or live a more balanced lifestyle and maybe address some of those burdens by moving forward. What else in the present? I think I need to turn down the heat, even though it's snowing outside. I don't think it's snowing anymore. Okay, well, these we're not taking because there's a whole stack of them, but we did have two that slid out like right in this particular position. So we have the High Priestess in the reverse, so there's truths coming out. You're learning the truth. You're learning the truth of a situation, something that was hidden from you that has to do with intuition, deep intuition, coming out right below the Queen of Swords. So there's definitely something there that has to do with truth, justice, equilibrium. It's something that you might have been in self-denial about, that you really, really need to address at this time, but it's becoming more and more obvious to you. It does have to do with burdens that you've been carrying from the past that you now have to address now that you've kind of woken up after a long period of avoidance, denial, escapism. In fact, with that Three of Cups in the reverse, you might have been escaping truths for a long time. It could even be because of, what's a good way of saying this? You might have been engaging in substance abuse, and that may have been a form of escapism for you from reality. And that just puts a pause button on your problems. It doesn't make them go away. And so the realization of a lack of balance, truth, justice, fairness, equilibrium in a situation that actually has been placing a lot more burden on you than relaxation and freedom and stress-free living. That's actually a realization and a truth that you're coming to, that your intuition has been nagging you about for quite some time. Pisces energy here. It might have been something that initially became obvious to you during a Pisces season with that High Priestess, but you had avoided the wisdom of it. You see the owl? Owl is usually something that I see on a Queen of Swords card, so it's interesting that it's actually on the High Priestess there. Now, and we have the Two of Swords. Holy fuck. You realize that there is a contract, an agreement, or something in the recent past that did not come to fruition, but you realize the universe's logic when it comes to this, and how poetic that the universe can be when things do not necessarily come to fruition as you would once hoped, or where you once believed that they were going to bear great promise. Because the Two of Swords in the reverse happened. And the Two of Swords in the reverse is removing the blindfold, dropping the two swords that are folded in front of you, and no longer being at a crossroads where you don't necessarily know which path to take. You now understand the right path forward, and you can see things for what they really are, as opposed to being in denial or avoiding making a decision. You now know which decision is best and right. You know that your intuition has been nagging you for a long time, and you can see the truth clearly for what it is. Okay? In the future, Sagittarius, and I know that I'm speaking really fast. I'm not trying to do hour-long readings with these because I'm not clarifying them. Okay? Page of Cups in the reverse. You were expecting an apology from somebody. It might have been if you were a part of a group of gossiping folks, or with this Sun card, the lack of prosperity in a situation, or where you thought there was great promise of something, a great joy to come to you in the past. You're expecting an apology, or you have somebody else who expects an apology from you, might even be demanding an apology from you. A little bit of juvenile energy I'm feeling here. That's not going to be forthcoming. Somebody is expecting that there's going to be an apology. No dice. No dice. And you're standing in your power as far as this goes, either with your own firm resolve to either expect an apology, or you can kick rocks, or put the shoe on the other foot. Somebody else is expecting an apology from you, but you don't feel the need to express an apology where one is undue. Okay. Three of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, you're not waiting around for it either. You're not sticking around waiting for anything as far as that's concerned. You don't feel the need to sit out and survey the land and kind of take stock of anything anymore. You very much know that it's time to bounce in the future. You've closed out the cycle. You're in charge of your own destiny with that Emperor card. And you know that it wouldn't serve your best interest or your stability's best interest to stick around and wait for something that's probably never going to happen. Don't hold your breath. I'm hearing, don't hold your breath waiting for an apology that's never going to come. You're just going to, get blue in the face and pass out. Right? Eight of Swords in the reverse. You are no longer holding yourself back with mental prison. You recognize that what you were doing, you were a glutton for punishment is what you were doing. And so with the Eight of Swords, normally depicted with a guy who's standing in the middle of a bunch of swords with his arms tied, yet his feet are not, but he's sitting there going, oh my God, help me, I'm trapped. We also have it here with the bird. It's a swan, I believe here. They have wings. They can totally fly out of this anytime they want. But they're going, oh no, look at me, I'm trapped. It's a mental prison. You're coming out of that mental prison. You're freeing yourself from a mental prison where there has been a feeling of a lack of stability, or where you thought that you didn't have any power. So you're exercising your own will of empowerment over a situation. This is one of the truths that you awoke with during the present. In the future, you're going to actually be exercising that particular truth. I don't think this is a love reading. I don't know. You have like 2 cups on this whole thing. And one's a Page of Cups and one's a 3 of Cups. This always happens. 2 seconds. Okay, so we got the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, so one of the other things is that you're noticing that there might be a partnership that you thought was going to, come together, or an agreement of sorts of a business sense that's just not going to happen for you. That's another thing that you're waking up to realize. It could be something that you and even a friendship sometimes with the 3 of Pentacles, but you're coming out of that feeling of the mental prison again. Like it's like you've got this mentality that you had previously believed that was going to happen, where it's not. Or you had this mentality that you were locked onto where see, the thing is that the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse is also a call to where you need to pay attention to the union of body, mind, and spirit. That might be something that you are awakening to here, is that maybe your mental game isn't super strong, or that your spiritual game isn't super strong, or that your physical game isn't super strong, and that the union of the 3 has to occur. And particularly because in the present you notice that you betrayed your own intuition for a really long time. What else? Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm going to title this "The Blindfold Comes Off." I think that's probably the most appropriate. As a result of all of that healing, you notice that you have a choice in love. Gemini, which is your divine counterpart, in fact. The Lovers. So the Lovers is a choice in love. The Lovers in the reverse is making a choice in love or choosing yourself in love. This is where you have, you have to exercise some form of selection. You could have two different individuals that you have to choose one. You might even have to choose in between a lover and yourself. But that is a part of the sight in front of you with the blindfold coming off, with not following your intuition, realizing a truth, realizing the imbalance in a situation, is that perhaps you might have to choose in between a lover and yourself, or you might have to, and I get that very strongly, so I'm going to, more than likely be rather confident in that assertion. However, I also see here that it could very well be that you need to choose in between two lovers, where one of them holds the promise that somebody from the recent past has not. I do see the sun up there, and I see the sun here. So you will be traveling towards your happiness. But there's a choice. There's a choice that you need to make. And you haven't had a great deal of prosperity. And in the recent past, you've been kind of grappling with yourself to make the, move or come to the realization that there are things that you need to close out and move forward from, because you're experiencing great burden. What else? Lastly, you're not happy. You're not happy with something that's gone on, or you believe that there's something that's not fair. There's a lack of balance, and you don't think it's fair, and it could have been bringing on great burden for you, and you've been escaping from it for quite some time. You would rather escape it in the past and even moving into the present, but this is something that you're awakening from right now. You would rather escape it than face it head on and address it. There's going to come a point here during the present where you're no longer going to be able to ignore it. Or you've been turning your blind eye to something that's actually blatantly obvious, that you've been lying to yourself, or turning a blind eye. You're turning a blind eye. You know that something's going on, and you've been ignoring it for a while. And it's causing great burden. It just keeps getting heavier and heavier. You've trained yourself to ignore it. It's too many. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you need to take a minute. In the future, after all of this is over, once the blindfold comes off, once you start following your intuition, you might actually choose yourself, because there's no movement forward. Even the slow movement forward, there's no movement forward. Virgo energy. Could be during Virgo season. So after the summer, September, August to September, you might find yourself kind of just taking some time out. No action, so that you can kind of focus on yourself a little bit more. Or taking no action towards a new lover, but not necessarily making any additional forward progress if you do choose somebody that you're already with, or just making no choice, which is also a choice, not making a choice. All right, overall, the Magician in the reverse. Gemini again. Gemini in the reverse. This is a lack of manifestation, a lack of self-mastery. I think that's the whole point of this reading, in fact, is that you've been turning a blind eye to something. You have not been manifesting anything. You've kind of been sitting in stagnant energy for a really long time. You've been checked out for a while. And once you realize the things that you have been ignoring, or the things that you haven't necessarily been addressing, whatever those may be. I can't necessarily see exactly what those things are, but there are so many cards here talking about inequality, a lack of truth, not following your personal truth or your intuition in specific situations. You start to notice where you're not really in charge of your own destiny, right? All right, so let's get you some magnetic poetry. Let's get some messages, and then we'll see what your affirmation is for April. And do keep in mind, this is only for April. You can absolutely change the trajectory of everything for yourself because you're your own human being. All right, Sagittarius. What are Sagittarius's messages? 802 works out to 10, and so therefore 1, endings and beginnings, transitory energy. We'll dig deep for you. I got so much magnetic poetry in here, it's insane. I can't fit it all in my fridge. Actually, Sagittarius bought this for me. You could be dealing with Aquarian energy, or this could be something that also started happening during the Aquarius Pisces cusp, because we were talking about Pisces earlier, but also I did a whole saying Aquarius instead of, you know, Pisces thing, Sagittarius thing. Oh yeah. Okay, I don't know. You're going to have to write it all down and you're going to have to figure it out for yourself. I really, really hope that you can make sense out of it, because I don't know. I don't make sentences out of these messages. This is stuff that you kind of have to, you know, hash out for yourself. Okay? So what is your affirmation that'll get you through April? Sag. Message for Sagittarius, get them through April, One Piece. Okay. One more. Okay. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. That was easy. I am worthy. Yeah. Recognizing your self-worth. That is something here that you can see. All right. Thank you so very much for watching and stopping by. I hope everything works out well for you. And we'll see you when we see you. Maybe I'll get to do some love readings this month. If I do, I'll do clarification. Yeah. So have fun. Take care. Bye-bye now. And here is your spread. I kind of knocked the cards about a little bit, but that's okay. All right. Okay. Bye.